During my service in the United States Congress, I took the initiative in creating the internet. I took the initiative in creating the internet.
All right, we got it working, ladies and gentlemen. So because you're smart. All right, so we got both lines recording right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Internet.
I got on my knees. I said 69 Hail Marys. That's how I started the day. That's how I start every day. We gotta thank the Lord Jeebus Cripes for giving us another day on this planet. I let the Lord come wherever He wants, because, you know, He's our Lord and He's almighty. We wouldn't even be here if it weren't for Him. All right, so we are recording. Welcome back, everybody, to the Watering Hole podcast. I hope all of you are not being affected by direct energy weapons. Sir Brian Hattrick, what do you have to say to the people?
I'm so sorry. I'm still setting up my Meet Me right now. And I just wanted to tell everybody that it's been a wild couple of weeks. And that's kind of why it's been a delay in episodes.
It's been a while.
We were planning out originally one topic. And that topic is a lot of fun and wildly close to our friend Greg and I. But somehow, even though that is a super interesting, awesome topic that we will be on hashing this coming week, what really distracted me is I got pulled aside by a friend of mine on Meet Me, and I got taken on a ride, and he took me on this conspiracy world tour of his, and I guess it's changed my life, and I hope it changes yours too. So,
And look forward to that. That we're not going to talk about that today, but
what are we talking about today then?
it has. Do you want to give them a little teaser of what it's going to be? Well, today I think we're going to talk a little bit. I mean, you can talk about that topic you're talking about if you want, but I wanted to touch on direct energy weapons.
Okay. So,
first of all,
it definitely has come more over the last few weeks. Direct energy weapon attacks happening all over the place, apparently. Videos literally surfacing faster than any UFO video craze I've ever seen.
yes. There's a. So if you do your research, you can look up and see that where all of these direct energy weapons have happened, there's also an initiative to build a smart city in that area. So you can find a correlation there. There's also straight up video footage of the fucking laser beam coming down from the sky, especially with the attacks in Hawaii.
It is insane. And
It's insane.
The thing is that we've had small previews of this in the past it just was more sporadic, and these attacks are happening so often that the theories are actually much stronger than ever before. Like, when people talked about direct energy weapons in the past, it was like, I don't know, a flock of birds falling out of the sky, or like maybe like one place that had like a scorch, but like they didn't have direct footage of countless beams hitting anything, or they didn't get to show countless cars that were completely charred, and basically the metal was turned to ash. Oh yeah,
Or,
yeah,
there were a
that
bunch
is
of fish that washed
a
up
good
on
example
shore
of what we used to
unexpectedly.
see when we thought direct energy weapons. But now I think that it's become obvious that we're in a new age. You know what this reminds me of? That really good Einstein quote says, "I have no idea what the Third World War's weapons will be, but I know that the Fourth World War will be fought with sticks and stones." And because we'll be so non-educated, because we'll have destroyed everything. That was his hypothesis. Well,
I would agree with that. I think we're gonna experience within the next 20 years a huge boom in technology, a huge way, and we're already experiencing it with AI technology and robots and everything. Surveillance, bioweapons, what have you. After this is going to be, if they really do the full attack, and we're not even talking about nuclear weapons, and that's a whole nother topic that we can talk a lot about, but after this, I don't know if we really do go into a World War III, what's going to be left?
if we if we speculate too much, it becomes very fire and brimstone. So I tend to say with the very negative things that you should just hope away from them, instead of trying to picture the many things that can be there. It's pointless to speculate too much on doomsday scenarios. So that's why, like, honestly, with the truther movement, I find any prognosis that says that there's no helping anything because it's already too far, I find it to be non-helpful. Like, to the truther movement, like, why would people even put that out there? It's wasting energy, and you're actually contributing to the negative pulse, because I believe that the government wants us to feel hopeless. Hopeless and lost are the bottom
Absolutely.
of the frequency pole. Absolutely.
That's
When
how they
you're
have
lost,
order out of
you're in
chaos.
survival mode, and it makes you resonate. It makes you resonate in survival mode places, which are
Confusion.
the lower parts of your chakras. You'll just be worried about fucking and eating and shitting, and that's where that's the zombie paradox. If you can elevate yourself, and honestly, this is where, like, it's so important to get in touch with your body, because if you're not fasting for parts of your day, which is the whole point of getting a break before you have breakfast, right? Because you're breaking your fast. It's You're not going to be capable of thinking about other things because you're always going to be dialed into your stomach. Honestly, people don't think about it, but like the Gremlin rules are hilarious because they're actually a reflection of a spiritual truth. If you're snacking all the time late at night, you're kind of fucking yourself up from ever being able to spiritually rise up.
Yep. The more energy that your body has to put into digestion during the day, that kind of shuts your brain down a little bit more. That's why people get tired and they have a huge meal and then they're expecting to like be sharp. I understand like getting your calories and your protein in the morning, but like don't eat like a whole big platter of pancakes and bacon and all this shit and expect to like, because after that you just want to relax. Your body's like, all right, we're in the mode now where we're digesting and we're healing. Do that after a long day of work. Eat a big meal once a day.
For healthy people, but that like we get conditioned to need 3 meals, and then people have snacks too. And actually, if you want to think about it like this, like in survival mode, you're always going to be eating, and when you can get it, you consume, and our 3 meals essentially break it down in a way that you are triggering that all the time, and you'll always be ready to consume, and I feel like breaking out of the cycle of consumption in healthy cycle is super important spiritual practice that people don't even engage in enough.
Yeah, and there's ways you can, if you're used to eating 3 meals a day and you are interested in, trying to get into fasting a little bit, you can have a salad. Just have a fucking salad and drink 12 ounces of water. You're not going to be hungry anymore. It's just a lot of times when it's telling our brain that we're hungry, but we're actually just dehydrated. So if you drink enough water throughout the day and just eat some vegetables, eat some fruit, you're going to be just fine. You don't need a burger. You don't need to go to McDonald's, fucking drive through. It's just a habit that you've gotten conditioned to. Fast food is a very powerful addiction. So, next time you think about going through the drive-through, just try to first just drink a bottle of water, buy some produce at a farmer's market, make yourself a little salad, maybe start your own garden in the backyard. Grow your own food. It's really not that difficult. I know they're trying to destroy the farmland in America. They're trying to buy all the land with the evil Bill Gates Foundation or whatever. But all you have to do, if you have a backyard, just dig like a little hole, put some fresh soil in there, and buy some seeds. They're not that expensive. And you can start your own garden. Just water it every day, and you get food. It's a gift that keeps on giving.
Plants are definitely something that feeds your soul in a different way besides just the food too, because when you grow plants and you're watering them every day, you can start communicating with them and really understanding what they need, and it builds not just character, but it builds ability to spiritually feel things. I think that the reason why people today have very little spiritual connection is because we spend more time on technology than we do doing things that connect us to nature. And people just don't have the lifestyle anymore to really have great connections with nature.
Absolutely. And that's why they're building all these smart cities so that everyone's living in a smart complex or whatever the fuck they're going to call it. And they all have their electric cars and they're stuck there. They don't have the ability, they don't have land. They can't build their own garden. They just got to, order food online or, go get fast food, whatever it is. Go to the grocery store and pay a shitload of money for some things.
Before we continue, would you mind going on your phone and just logging out to Meet Me so that they can tune in on your side too? To come in my box, because
Sure.
I have a couple people watching.
Okay, hang on one second.
I have, for the people on Meet Me, I have Alex on the line, and we just started recording an episode together, and then I started my live stream. So it was thrown together, but we wanted to be able to do it live too. So he's going to be coming in my box in a minute. Oh, there he is, the man.
All right, I'm here.
Thank you so much. And for people that are on the podcast side of things, if you want to download the app Meet Me, or if you already have the app, come find me. My name's Sir Brian Hattrick, and I'm on most nights. But when I have my friends with me, I record my podcast live on here. So it's a way that you can view us live recording. Well, I guess it's also, I should mention that it's Meet Me, Plenty of Fish, and I believe a few other things linked in there. There's other ways to access it. I recommend Meet Me personally over the other apps.
Yeah, Scout. I've tried them all. I've tried POF. I've tried Scout. I've tried. There's another one. I forget the name, but I think Meet Me is the best.
You know what, the reason that I like Meet Me the most is because it actually provides a good platform for people to try and be friends with people. And like, I know that dating's part of it, but like, I feel like this one out of all the apps really angles it more as a true socializing place, like instead of just dating.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's unique in that way.
I don't agree that, I'm not gonna lie. I've met people on here before that I've dated, but I never had the full-on intention of going on here for dating. If I wanted to do that, I'd be on like Tinder or something, or Facebook dating,
Right.
But it's just a way for me, it was always just a way to, if I was bored or I wanted to talk about something, and I just go on here. So, I mean, you can check out my channel. I don't even know how many diamonds I have. It's like 300K or something. I have no idea, but
Alex is what you call
I've cashed
Green
out
Bay
from
famous.
here. I've cashed out from here before, but it was like $200. I don't know. Green Bay, famous. Go Pack! Are you guys looking forward to the NFL football season? I can't wait.
I'm selling everything I have to be able to place bets on all the games.
Jordan Love. That's all I hear now, because like I'm a server and you know, I have to make tips, so I do small talk with the customers. And you know, they always want to talk about the Packers and I just have to pretend like I'm a huge fan, but I really just don't give a fuck about the NFL. I know it's all rigged. I hate the Packers. They're bringing out the worst in this city because it's all we have. And they get so many, you know, the police get so much money from pulling over drunk drivers after the Packer games. There's domestic violence rates that go up after they lose. Little Johnny, get over here. You know the drill.
Yeah, please
The
tell
Packers
me
lost.
about the big old additions around the stadium. This isn't even the stadium itself.
Oh, yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
these drawn on
Fucking-
paper. I never got to see them in person.
She said magnetic gloves and clones in the game. Exactly, and plus the field goals have magnets in them. The balls have magnets in them. So yeah, after they won the Super Bowl, they got a shitload of money because Aaron Rodgers did a ritual sacrifice. He like killed someone in his family or something, and then they're like, "All right, we're gonna let you win a championship," but only one. And then after that, we're just gonna make you guys look like a really good team, but you never win the big game. And then everyone just gets disappointed every year when they go to the playoffs and they never fucking win. They fucking lose the championship game at home. And then all the drunk people just get fucking pissed off. And the domestic violence.
Okay, let's talk about this. Hot topic.
God damn
Hot
it.
topic. People might not know, but NFL games and domestic violence, it's not a story that the NFL wants to fucking get out there. But like, this is not
This
a
isn't
joke.
it's
This is not a
not
joke.
this is real.
Yeah,
this
it's
is fucking real.
100% real. And DUIs.
And DUIs
the,
too.
The government enjoys that one
Yeah.
because they managed to pull in so many fucking
Yeah.
tickets. But at
Yep.
the end of the day,
They make their quotas.
Oh, and by the way, this is another thing that I know about states. States do not like pulling over drunk drivers in the city of the game event, the hosted event. So like, you tend
Really?
not to get a DUI in Green Bay itself because they don't want to give the city a black eye for all these DUIs all over the place. But if you're driving from a bar
That makes
somewhere
sense.
else, it's free game. Like I'm telling you, they're trying to pull you over at other places. They don't want to pull over fans that were going to the game. They try to avoid it, and it's like this like well-known thing that like the NFL wants to promote like the worst type of getting drunk at games. But at the same time, they're like, well, we want to sell all the beer, but we don't want to have any of the consequences. So.
Well, we gotta sell all this Miller
We really
Lite. What
like
are we
the
gonna do with
fact
this
that
this
everybody
half barrel
wants to
over
buy
here?
all our beer, but all these tickets getting in the newspaper, bad for business. No, it's so true though, and it's tragic because you know, like I'd like to see a sports league that like seriously just is just like fuck it, like we're banning drinking and you can smoke weed at our games. Like I want a sports team that's like dedicated enough. They're like, you know what? Like at our stadium, we're just not gonna allow drinking. We're just gonna allow people to smoke weed. Like California all the way.
Maybe the Denver
Yeah, the
Broncos
Denver Broncos.
probably have the most sober.
Yeah.
Yeah. because everyone there is already
Everybody's using it.
zooted
But like
off
seriously,
that.
and
So
if you look up how the NFL and other sports tend to talk about marijuana, it is listed as a performance enhancing drug, and like people
mhm.
have laughed at this for the longest time because it's like, no, like that's not why Michael Phelps is winning his shit. Like it might help him deal with stress, but like you could get other like medications that help you deal with stress that are giving you the benefits that we have. Like it's just the best way to do
I
it
think
naturally.
I think weed is the most natural way to heal from physical exercise, and they didn't want you to have it 20 years ago, but now it's like glorified. It's like, yeah, because like so many people like it. Like if you try it and you start enjoying it, you're gonna like it and you're gonna stand up for it. But yeah, like the restrictions are off. But in Green Bay, they don't. It's not legal, so and the Tavern League is making so much money from all these drunk people that love sports. They're not just gonna legalize weed because that's gonna get rid of all the if someone smokes a spliff and I'm just gonna watch the game at home. I don't need to go to the tavern. I don't need to go to the game. I'm just gonna watch at home. Green Bay, Wisconsin basically thrives on drunk people going out to the bar and going to the game and acting
Yeah,
a fool. That's what they make their money.
that's where they make their money.
So
True story. True story. So fucked up shit about Green Bay is fun to talk about, but go into
let's go
something.
into something deeper.
Let's get ourselves balls deep into something, so to speak. I
Let's
want
get
to feel that
ourselves
wet
balls
slap
deep.
on my balls.
All nice and deep black.
Oh fuck. All right, so we were talking about lasers, and be feel free to participate in the comments however you like. But um, the Maui attack is essentially the easiest place to see the direct reasoning for them doing it. But they are building smart cities in many other places, and in Maui, the governor is using actual troops to clear parts of the cities, and it's there were local police officers that took a stand against. Yeah, I'll talk about Toronto will be a good one, but there were local police officers that took a stand against the evacuation orders and were telling people like, no, like we're gonna camp out together and like figure out how to make this work, and we're not gonna let them just take our fucking land. And essentially, um, those officers were there's been 5 of them arrested for treason, and there are reports that, I mean, I don't remember the death toll, but I know that it's fairly high. Um, we have we have no way to know what's actually going on out there, numbers wise, and the reports that are coming out on the ground from the people are terrifying. But here's there was a story about the missing Maui. Missing list has 385 names. But they're saying that there's more people missing than are on the list, and that of the people on the list, that no children's names are on there. And then they had to clarify. They're like, we're not saying that there's no children missing. There's just no children's names included on the list. And then they said that it's because children are actually hard to document, to make to get on a missing list, because even the parents, like the parents are basically the only people that are holding pieces of paper that even say this person exists. That unless you go to some far archive where their birth records are, like on the ground, like they've never spent $1 digitally. So all of our modern day ways that we find people, they're not there. There's no paper trail there for these kids, which is like messed up to think about, because it's like, how did missing people work like hundreds of years ago, or like 100 years ago, 50 years ago? So, all right, the missing Maui thing is just like what has happened in other places where tragic events have happened, and it's, I think, a soft run of, like, I hate saying it, FEMA camp procedures, because it makes you sound so crazy when you start saying those words, but it is kind of a soft run of that. These people are being put into camps that have minimal supplies, and they shouldn't be. They're victims.
Well, I mean, you could bring that to stuff about World War II. I mean, you could say that the people that put people into concentration camps in World War II, that they're the ones running these FEMA camps in America.
So
There's a lot to say about the Holocaust. I know there's a lot of conspiracies about it. Some people say that it wasn't really what they said it was. Like Hitler was just kind of like an idea. Like he was some clone that they told him to say certain things, but they had an agenda. He was just a puppet for the whole fucking Holocaust. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I hear what you're saying, that he was probably steered by some darker forces.
Absolutely. Um, we don't know for sure though.
Unfortunately, a
None of
giant
us were
portable
there,
higher death
so.
rate isn't just something I can go and buy online. So I guess this means
Well, they were actual showers, but maybe they just shot them
Oh,
all in there, you know?
This kid's awesome. Laser Kid on YouTube. I can't wait to watch this video. Have you ever watched the kid that
Yeah,
builds ridiculous science stuff? Mostly lasers and stuff, though, on YouTube. And he's like, he's very smart. He's got degrees, but he's like playful. I should look at, what's his name?
the camps. I think they're trying to turn America into a giant camp. I think that's what they're doing.
Wow.
So everyone has their little smart complex, and everyone has their smart vehicle, their smartphone, their smart robot, fucking vacuum, whatever. But it's like we're all just, if you think about it, what's the difference? If they're monitoring, it's kind of like watching the show Big Brother. You ever watch that? It's kind of like that. That's what America is. It's a giant Big Brother. It's gotten to the point where that's where it's at.
Kind of.
they kind of tried to tell you back before 9/11 happened, but, no one wanted to pay attention. Or I would say, I wouldn't say nobody, but the majority of the population didn't pay attention. And now this is where we're at.
All right.
Don't you love it?
The laser attacks in Toronto, and there was actually really great satellite footage of the lasers in Quebec early in the summer. Those ones are like woods that shouldn't be burning at all, and they started fires instantaneously in multiple places. You can see the smoke starting on maps, and I feel like it's really an attack on the lungs of the planet, but also like if we are supposed to have a spiritual connection with nature, then like this is an attack on spirit. And I really think that it's
100%.
trippy that they want to tease us with something like Avatar, but yet they're doing it. Like they're destroying the fucking native land. They're destroying what is beautiful about our planet, and we have to sit here and just be victims or wake up.
But even if the majority of the population is woke, what are we going to do?
Change things on a local level first.
The first step is talking about it. And hopefully you don't get censored, so you can do it in a way where you won't get censored.
The next step is to stop engaging in any fear that they want you to have, and especially anything that makes you feel hopeless.
Yep, trade and barter
locally. But like literally,
if you live in, find some farmers
that ends in any hopelessness, and you're on the wrong track, because that's what they want us to feel with the many frequencies that they're sending towards us. And it gets really heavy when you talk about frequencies being sent towards us. Like, it's literally a vibration war, and
yes,
we need to try to constantly raise our vibrations. And it's the only way that we're going to be able to produce the medicine that we need. Like, we all can help
your neighbor.
Meet your neighbor. Help your neighbor.
Yep.
I'm telling what I see in the future is a lot more tribal and a lot more centered on the things that connect you with the people directly around you.
Absolutely. We all need to stick together. We all need to rise up and help each other in the smaller communities. Buy local if you can. Start your own garden. Just be mindful. Trade and barter. Let's take it down. Like, don't go to Walmart if you want to buy some fucking tomatoes. Just go to the farmer's market. And it's probably going to be cheaper at the farmer's market, and then you can make connections with the farmers that actually grow the fruit, and you can get it at a better deal. And then they can give you even seeds where you can start your own garden. Even if you have a small patch of land,
Yeah. And I really think that we're going to need to start thinking about ways to have homes that are incorporated more into nature. And I think that people should build geodesic domes that are very strong and that can hold soil to be able to grow plants almost entirely on top of them. if not entirely covering them. And
Absolutely.
it would really help the earth a lot, but it would really, really help us too. Like, we're wasting money on air conditioning. The earth would provide cooling air, perfect air to sleep in if you just dig. And you don't even need to sleep that low, because you could actually, there's ways, if you dig a chamber underground, like a basement chamber, but you don't put anything in there. Like, you could maybe use it for a cold storage, but then you have a ventilation that you pump air in and out of there, and it basically is an air conditioner for your house. You can have a chamber under your main part of your house that provides to your entire house.
You develop a magnetic energy device using simple metals and batteries that is basically infinite energy.
Well, if you get really good at
Um,
growing tilapia, you'll actually be able to feed yourself a very clean source of cheap fish. But you'll be able to use the tilapia droppings and water as great fertilizer for your plants. And then
sure.
you basically have a whole chain there of self-sufficient growing. That's amazing. Water generators,
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
water generator. There's some really cool
What ex-
devices out there. Like, I don't know if you guys know what a water ram is. A water ram pump.
what what what
Okay,
exactly is
so
that?
I can pump water uphill, but at a small loss. Like, if you were to, and that's without electricity, zero electricity. So it goes against physics. You can only do it because you're actually losing water that you're sending downhill at the same time. It's really interesting. Ready? So there's basically, you have to have a big water storage vat on the lower side of the hill that you're trying to get to the top, and you connect a hose to it. But like, that hose will only go as high as that vat. But you're gonna need a really long hose, and um, the long hose is gonna, at the very beginning of it, have this um, device that is um, like a water hammer that basically the little bit of pressure from that water tank is enough to like push this little piston back, and then when it gets to the top, a spring rams it down, and it forces water up to the next portion of the pipe. But then it loses a little bit because it also goes out the other way. The ram's very inefficient, but the the whole system works well enough that you could have like a series of rams working together to get more water up to the top faster if you need to. But you can actually like fill like very, very large tanks high up this way. This is how old water towers were filled. And usually you just put the water ram in a place that you want to constantly be watered anyways, because throughout the day it'll just be trickling a little bit of water out of it all day.
Hmm.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Uh, and then you can make your own ice. You could fucking If you have water, you have everything.
Oh yeah.
Like it's amazing because Nikola Tesla said that we should not be paying for electricity. It's an infinite
Wait, do you have an awesome
energy
way to make
source.
ice?
Well, if you live in a colder climate during the winter,
so you're like
you know,
you're going
just
with
set it
the-
outside.
I live in Wisconsin, so you can make an ice storehouse.
I mean, yeah, I could if I wanted to,
Um,
but you know.
There's these cool modern refrigerators that I've seen that are like designed in India to help the people there that have zero electricity. And it's like clay walls on this little refrigerator unit, and at the top it has a clay tank that you fill with water, and it allows the water to trickle down the sides of this clay pot all day. Like, and you just have to fill it up like once a day. If you fill it up once a day, it'll constantly be trickling, and that evaporation is amazingly cooling. So it actually is cold enough to keep milk or other things like really nicely cool.
That
It is
sounds amazing.
I mean, it requires a relationship with your fridge though. Like if you don't water your fridge, your stuff's not going to be cold. So that's the downside.
Yeah. Well, people who deserve it, they deserve it, and people who neglect it, they don't deserve it. It's really that simple. If you don't have the time of day to fucking, you know, just do some simple shit to take care of your livelihood, then you don't deserve it. I think we're at about 50 minutes here.
Already.
Is there any other topic that you wanted to discuss? Because I think we're going to keep these things at about an hour per episode.
Yeah, no, I kind of thought we were gonna get into something else, but no, I don't think we have a lot of time.
We don't have to rush anything. Maybe we can do a quick AI skit.
Yeah, did I
just to end
I
it?
sent that
Yeah,
over
let's do
to you,
that.
didn't
Hang on. If I get out of here though, it's gonna kick me out of the box. That's the only thing I don't like about Meet Me. So I can't, because I only have one phone.
Facebook on your computer. There's ways around it, buddy. Welcome to Beyond the Portal, Galactic Gab, the only show that tackles the confounding interdimensional theories outright. I'm Rexar, your dimension-hopping analyst.
And I'm Salaz, your ever-curious truth seeker. Strap on your quantum boots, because today's conspiracies are about to take you on a wild, multi-dimensional ride.
First on
Woo!
the docket, the theory that humans are actually 5D creatures trapped in a 3D world. I mean, come on, I've seen their movies, and let's be real. Their 3D glasses leave a lot to be desired.
Right you are, Rexar. I tried them once. Thought it was a universal fashion trend. Give me a headache.
Next up, there's the Mandela effect. This one says that whenever humans remember something incorrectly, it's because they've switched to a parallel universe.
If that's true, Rexar, I've been hopping universes daily. Just the other day, I forgot where I parked my anti-gravity pod. Another universe or just a bad memory chip?
Definitely the chip. All right, Silas. Next up is a story about the simulation theory. Some humans believe that they're living in a virtual reality created by a higher being. Huh. As if we'd waste our cosmic GPU on them.
Although those cat videos they produce are pretty addictive.
True, but not worth the server space. Now, Silas, have you heard about Hollow Earth?
The one where they think there's, a secret underground civilization and possibly a portal to another dimension? I mean, kind of, hits close to home, you think?
Too close, Silas. Too close. We might want to talk to the Intergalactic Decoy Department about that.
Okay. Well, last but not least, there's the Elvis Lives conspiracy. Humans believe that this iconic singer, maybe he does sin, is still alive and maybe raping children.
Ah, that's just Zorblat from Dimension 47, having a bit of fun. He does love his jumpsuits.
The jumpsuits are nice, but, we just got to wrap it up, Just remember, it's not because you're paranoid that they aren't after you. They really are after you. In our case, humans aren't accidentally onto something. Ladies and gentlemen.
Stay hidden, avoid portals on Tuesday, and always question the multidimensional reality.
Do do
This is Rexar and
do
Silas.
do do
Peace out,
do do do
motherfuckers.
do. We're finding out about dimensions. We're finding out about reality. We're finding out about the truths of the world. It's reptilian conspiracy. You are here to see. You are here to hear. You are smiling ear to ear. Listen to our podcast, motherfuckers. Ugh.
Silas, we already talked about this. That's not the song for the show. We already.
Oh,
talked about
I
this.
accidentally
No,
I put on
sorry.
poop
Sorry,
pack.
We're gonna get a professional.
Yes, we need to fix the music. That artist that gave us that song is totally shit. His name is Poop Pack. He tried to name himself after the late great Tupac, but I guess this is novelty again. That guy that did the music for the outro, I guess he has like a poop fetish or something. We tried to give him a shot at giving us some outro music, but I don't think he's gonna work. He talks about pooping into like bags and like fanny packs and stuff. It's really weird. Should we turn on one more song by him?
Pupac shit. Cora?
I saw a pack wrapped around my waist. I turned it around and I gave it my waist. Get it? Because he had the fanny pack. He just turned it around, and then like he could just shit into it.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Smart guy. But his music just sucks. I mean, I don't get why he's recording this kind of stuff. Poop pack. Anyways, I think that's about it. I think we're going to wrap this one up. Thank you for listening to the Watering Hole podcast, everybody.
It's been a joy.
If you have any recommendations for topics or anything, feel free to leave a comment, like and subscribe. It's Novelty and Sir Brian Hattrick. Anything else you want to say, Mr. Hattrick?
No, sir. I just had a lovely time, and I feel so released.
Wow.
Just got that after nut.
Kind of like,
After nut
when you... It's kind of like when you take a sip of Diet Pepsi, you get that
Something
Or maybe cherry
Close to.
Pepsi.
cherry Pepsi.
Or if you smoke like some floor tiles and roll it up into a dryer sheet when you let out that first exhale. Powerful stuff.
Mm.
All right. Well, everybody, we're going to have the dryer sheet joint t-shirt coming out soon. Thank you for listening to the Watering Hole podcast. We love you guys. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Feel free to even email us if you want to be on the show. We're looking for more guests. We're looking to do more AI skits where we can have more actors. And peace and love. Stay safe out there.
Love ya.
Love you. Bye.